Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and I finally watched The Wind Rises. This was directed by Hayao Miyazaki in what was supposed to be Miyazaki's final movie. It wasn't, but I'll talk more about that in a second. And the English cast includes Joseph Gordon-Levitt, John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, Martin Short, and Werner Herzog, among others. Even though this does take a lot of creative liberties, this movie is based on the life of this guy. I had so much trouble trying to pronounce that name. I don't know whether it was gyro or gyro, and the more I thought about it, the more I just thought of the Greek sandwich. So I'm just going to when I refer to him, I'm going to put his name in the lower third, because I don't want to insult the man by mispronouncing his name. But this guy, and he was very important in the world of aircraft design. He always wanted to fly himself, however, due to various conditions, he was never able to. So he became a designer of airplanes rather than a flyer of. And this movie tells the story of him building what would become the Mitsubishi Zero, which was the plane used by the Japanese during World War II, and falling in love with the woman who would eventually become his wife. Like I mentioned in the intro, this movie was meant to be Hayao Miyazaki's last movie. He was hanging up the boots, or he was hanging up the pencil, after many years of revolutionizing animated movies as we knew them. Now, as we all know, he's actually coming out of retirement to create a movie for Ghibli called How Do You Live, which is scheduled to be released in 2023, probably as a result of what his son produced last year, and basically saying in the process, let me show you how it's done. I honestly have no idea how Do You Live is going to turn out in terms of quality. However, if The Wind Rises was going to be Miyazaki's last, it certainly felt that way, because he put all of his creative juices into this, and it shows. I haven't felt this good about a Ghibli movie since probably Howl's Moving Castle. Again, not to say that the movies leading up to The Wind Rises were bad. Far from it. I just remember the overwhelming feeling of, that was a very good watch, and nothing more than that. The Wind Rises really struck a chord with me. I know I sound like a broken record by this point, but the animation in this movie is almost too good to be true, especially in The Wind Rises. There are so many scenes that I just feel like I just am blown away as to how Miyazaki was able to come up with this. There's a scene near the beginning of the movie where the guy meets his wife for the first time, and that just happens to coincide with the Great Kyoto earthquake of 1927. And how this movie animates this scene is just low-key terrifying, because when you see an earthquake, it's like a lot of shaking and rumbling, but it feels like the entire buildings are just being uprooted and put back down again. It's scary stuff. And everything else related to the animation, from the plane crashes to the design of the planes themselves, even to something as simple as the wind blowing through the grass. This movie, you forget that it's animated. You just get sucked in. It's one of the more immersive movies that I've ever seen. The main character also has these dream sequences that are so vivid you half expect him to wake up to Dom Cobb from Inception. But what I really loved the most about this movie was just the story and how it handled the two main storylines. Whether it's either focusing on the main character trying to build what would eventually become the Zero, or his relationship with his wife, it's all handled in a very tactful manner. In my research, I found that when it came to the plane stuff, there was a certain group of people in Japan who were considering protesting this movie because it was trying to have a certain kind of message, like an anti-war kind of message. And I didn't get that at all. I found in an interview with Miyazaki that while Miyazaki had very complex feelings about World War II, he had nothing but respect for the main character and all of his accomplishments in the world of aviation. He would say, and I'm paraphrasing here, something to the extent of, the Zero was one of the few things that we could be proud of in a very dark time. And the main character is essentially somebody who doesn't get into wartime aviation to be like, all right, let's do this, let's invade some places. But no, he's actually quite disheartened when he learns that the planes are going to be used to invade China and the US and Europe and other places, or that was the goal at least. He's not exactly a pacifist, but he never expected his work to go to something as dark, and you felt that. There's a quote from the man that this movie is based out of that said something along the lines of, all I wanted to do was to make something beautiful. And sure enough, he did. And at the end of the day, I am very sad that this is not Miyazaki's last movie, even if How Do You Live is really great. If Miyazaki wanted to, he could hang his hat knowing that this was his last, because you felt every ounce of passion go into this. Beautiful animation, a wonderful English cast, and a story that was just incredibly engrossing. I've yet to sit down and make a definitive Ghibli ranking, however, I feel like this may be in my top 5. Well, for me, thank you so much as always for watching. If you've seen The Wind Rises, comment down below. I'd love to hear what you all have to say about it. I also want to thank all of you for getting me to 170 subscribers. I'm truly grateful to all of you for sticking with me. It's been a pleasure making these videos, and I don't plan on stopping. However, for the month of October, I'm going to be putting these Sunday videos on a bit of a break, because throughout the month of October will be Scary Mania, where I'm going to be reviewing 31 horror movies in 31 days. So I won't have as much time to talk about Ghibli. However, at the pace I'm going, I only have 3 Ghibli movies left to cover. Technically 4 with Nausicaa the Valley of the Wind, which is strangely not a Ghibli movie, even though it's grouped with the other ones on HBO Max. Someone probably knows what the deal is with that. But the next time I talk about a Ghibli movie, I will be talking about the final Studio Ghibli movie from Isao Takahata. It is The Tale of the Princess Kaguya. But if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications. That way when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam. I'll see you in the next one.